Yo, what's good boys? Welcome back to the Travis Scott Blueprint. This is episode 3 today. We're coming at you with an episode focusing on Travis's first album, Rodeo. This one's going to be a banger. I made a crazy beat. I spent literally like 3 hours making this shit. It's no joke. It's crazy. There's like 3 switch ups. It's ridiculous. So before we get any further in this video, I need you guys to do 2 things for me. Number 1 is drop a like on this video right now below. Drop a like. The first 2 episodes have surpassed 1,000 likes. We need to keep that trend going. So if you haven't already, drop a like on this video right now. And secondly, subscribe. It's free, it helps me out. Let's get to 40k. Subscribe. You don't want to miss these videos anyway. So yeah, do that right now. So if you guys want to get your hands on this project file we're about to make right now, this FLP, only one person can get it. All you need to do is leave a comment below saying FLP. Those 3 letters, just comment FLP if you want to get a chance to win this FLP. I'm going to send it to one person. The 24 hours, just do a quick little thing, you know what I'm saying, just to show my appreciation to some of you guys who comment and show love in the comments and all that stuff. So yeah, do that if you want to win that. If not, fuck you.
Rodeo is Travis Scott's debut album, released back in 2015. Now platinum, almost 6 years later, it remains as one of his most loved projects to date. With one of the most impressive lineups of not only features but producers too, and amazingly Travis being one of them. Although this album is old and it does sound it by modern standards, myself and many fans of Travis can agree this project has aged like fine wine and has definitely held up. The thing I love about this album is every song is different from the next, showing how much of a versatile artist Travis really is. Jumping from alternative and lyrical songs to heavy mosh pit vibes, you really get to hear Travis's full range of motion. Most of the tracks sound like 2 to 3 songs in one, so you have to appreciate the depth this album really has. Overall, I think Rodeo is an incredible album and one definitely worth covering in 2021. Some standout performances for me are in that 90210, 90210, looking for that. In the city moving slow, 3500 for the coat. Anything can happen at the night show. So, must-haves for a rodeo type beat. Well, you need to have 1 or 2 beat switch ups. Now, the reason for this is that a lot of the tracks in Rodeo have about, 2 to 3, well not 2 to 3, probably 1 to 2 beat switch ups. There's a lot of stuff going on in these tracks, so you definitely want to, switch your beat up in there, have a nice transition and just get that done. It sounds so cool. Second one is electrical guitar riffs. There are so many electrical guitar riffs in Rodeo. Like, some of my favourite tracks on this album have these crazy guitar like lines, and it's just, yeah, amazing, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely do that, electric guitar riffs. Next we've got real drum breaks or loops. When you listen to the album, you can't help but notice the super nice, like old school sound, like boom bap drums, like that real drum kit sounding stuff. Add those in. Next we've got distorted synth bass. This is just like a Mike Dean influence right here, but it is kind of like a feature of Travis's music, so get a nice distorted synth bass in there, whether it's a short one or a long one, doesn't really matter, just something like that. Dark, moody sounding melodies. Get the minor scale going, get some nice chords, try and have those inverted chords, by going up and down 1 or 2 notes to try and get that, that tension. You know what I'm saying? Music theory people know what I'm talking about right now. You'll see what we do in this video. So yeah, dark, moody sounding melodies. And then finally we've got minimum 4 to 5 melody layers. Now with your melody, you really want to think of this as like a sample. When you sample some music on YouTube or something, you really get like all these different layers going on. You want to think of this as like a piece of music, like a symphony. Don't go for 1 or 2 melodies. Go for 4 at least. In this video, the beat we make, we have I think 4 or 5 going. Just add those layers in there, really build that depth, that body, and create that masterpiece that is Rodeo.
So we know what kind of beat we're making now, we know what we need to do. Let's go ahead and make that beat, but before we do, let's do the producer chat. The producer chat of today's episode is going to be, when it comes to mixing your beats, do you use headphones or speakers, and which is better? Now for me, I like to use headphones. I think it gives a more honest mix. With speakers, it all depends on the room, how the speakers are positioned, what speakers you have. There's a lot more factors that go into it. With headphones, as soon as you find the relative sound of your mix, you can mix very well on virtually any headphones in any space at any time, so I just find it better. But let me know what you guys use and what do you think. Let's talk about it down in the comments. So the first thing that we're going to open up to make this beat is going to be a flex. We're going to be using a guitar called Nylon Shimmer. We're going to be working at 126 BPM and D minor. So we've now got our little guitar rig. We're going to spice this guitar up a little bit, give it that distortion, that fuzz, make it sound like a real like electric guitar, giving it that really dirty sound. Another guitar, of course, we're going to Flex Stock Plugin Gang. This one's called Britbulb X, and it's basically like a lead guitar. It sounds really nice, and we're going to pitch it up quite high and make it into a nice lead guitar sound basically. Next we're going into Analog Colors, and we're using a preset you guys are more than familiar with now, and we're going to be creating a nice lead sound. We've been using this a lot in the last few blueprints, so it sounds sick, you already know. Next sound, we're going to Atmosphere. We're grabbing ourselves a Growler Moog bass. Finally, the last thing we're going to add is another flex. We love flex today. We're going to be adding just a normal piano. We're going to be adding a top line melody, some nice staggered chords, just something to accent everything we've already got already. So right now we're doing a little pitch bend with our lead guitar, which is going to make it sound even more realistic, you know, like they've just had a crazy time with the whammy bar. So speaking of guitar rig, there's going to be a lot of that in this video. We're adding this preset now to our lead guitar, giving it that fuzz, making it sound hella distorted, hella crazy. And these are all our melodies together. So I actually decided to pitch all the melodies down, just wanted to kind of, you know, test how this sounded in another key. So we went down to B minor, and I think it sounds even more crazy. Check this out. So now we're working on a realistic kind of like drum break. We're using a lot of sounds from this old kit. I've got like boom bap style sounds. We're going to go as realistic as possible, so we're pulling out all the stops here. One of the key things about making this drum pattern work is you've got to kind of delay some of the sounds. You've got to make it sound as realistic as possible, and realistically drummers cannot play exactly in time every single element. Each time it's just not possible. We're humans, we make errors, but the beauty is in the mistakes, the perfection is in the imperfections. So here's what those drum sounds sound like with our melody so far. Let me know what you guys think. So we're going to start working on our first switch up now. We're just going to slightly modify this piano melody we started off with by adding a nice lower melody to kind of accent the top line chords we've got. So 808 time. With this one I wanted to pitch up an octave higher than I normally would, just to kind of give it that old school sound. Like I feel like this was used a lot back in the early 10s, like mid 10s, like in this era basically of music. We're just adding in those trap drums now. I went for like a really old kit that I had on my hard drive from like 2017, just because I knew all my stuff would sound too modern to go on this beat. I really wanted to make it as authentic as possible, so I found the oldest drum sounds I had that were like these like classic trap sounds and just put them in there. It sounds dope. Cool thing I did with this electric guitar, just to kind of add it in on the B section but not to actually have it so blatantly in there, is I took one of the tail ends of one of the notes and just looped it to make like almost like a vocal sound. It sounds sick. So we're going to add in a hi-hat now. We're going to be using a MIDI from my ammo collection. If you want to get any of the ammo kits, I'll leave a link down below. You can check those out. So you guys asked for a longer episode. You guys have got it now. This one's nearly 20 minutes. I hope you enjoy. We're just structuring this beat out now, the B section, getting it all ready to go, and moving on to our final section. So we're going to be adding a sound from Mellotron. This one's called Brass. It's a custom preset. Basically just going to be accenting that final stage of our B section, just to kind of really bring everything together, bring it all up, maximum tension, maximum vibes. So yeah, just all about the layers in this one. So if you want to come into view and then go to plugin performance and monitor, you can actually see which plugins specifically are really, you know, taking a lot of your CPU away. I actually decided to render out this beat because it was lagging so much. So I actually rendered out the entire section and then just started again. We're going to add a Juno now. We're going to be using the Mike Dean pad we made in the last video. If you haven't seen the last blueprint, by the way, we've got 2 episodes out right now. Check out episode 1 and 2. I actually switched to the D major scale, which is the relative minor of B minor, just because I wanted to kind of make the chords a little bit less sort of like dark, sad sounding and be a bit more like cheerful-ish. Here is that amazing sound again from Analog Lab. I can't help but put this in there. It just sounds so sick. It goes with our chords really well. Really like adds to the feeling, you know what I'm saying, the emotion. So right here, I wanted to do a transition, but I couldn't think of what to do. The blend wasn't there, like from the B section to the final section, it just wasn't working. So I looped the final 808 slide I did and made it into like a delayed kind of sound. You hear that a lot in Travis songs, and it's super easy to do and really effective. It worked really well. And we're just saucing up with a little bit of Lil Alter Boy. So we're adding in that synth bass, drawing to the end of this beat now. I think it sounds amazing so far. Can't wait for you guys to hear the final thing. So we're just adding in a few risers and then we are literally done. I'm gonna let the entire thing play just so you guys can enjoy it. Put a lot of work into this one, so if you haven't already dropped a like, please do that right now. And that is the final beat. That is my take on a Rodeo kind of beat. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something new. This has been episode 3 of the Blueprint. Episode 4 of the Travis Scott Blueprint is going to be coming this time next week. So every Sunday, the normal schedule of things. So yeah, look out for that one. We're going to be covering OZ. So yeah, it's going to be amazing. If you want to check out any of my kits, any of my social medias, or anything else, check the link down in the description. Make sure you comment FLP, because in 24 hours time, I'm going to be picking one of you guys who comment, and you're going to be able to win this FLP. Only one person's getting it. You're going to get the FLP project files, everything. It's going to be crazy. Follow me on Instagram, ProdbyJack, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.